For those of you who have been listening to my podcast for a while, know that I just finished a 6-month weight loss challenge that I gave myself just to prove that doing it slow and easy and focusing more on habit building is better for long-term results. And I lost 19 pounds without even trying. I was partying every weekend. I mean, if you've listened, you know the whole story, but a quick recap. I'll focus on one thing from January each month all the way to July 4th. I took some pictures. I put it in my Facebook group if you want to see it. Obviously, everyone wishes they could be even more ripped. So I still wanted to get a little bit more definition, but 19 pounds is 19 pounds. So I still implore those of you who have not listened to episode 429, that was back in January. I mapped out the whole program, listened to that, and I did updates every month. But now, after this 6 months, what do you do now to stay motivated? What kind of things am I interested in now? And I mentioned on a previous episode that I've leaned down as much as I can and want to without giving up my social life. And now I want to focus on a little bit more bulking phase. And it's so much better to work on bulking when you're already lean and mean. So like I said, I did a 19-pound drop. And I'd have to say that last little bit on the July 3rd, I did a 36-hour fast just to finish it off. So probably 2 or 3 pounds of that was probably fake water weight, but still look good. And now I want to start worrying on bulking. And like I said, it's way easier to bulk and focus on that when you're already lean and mean. You don't have to look at yourself and feel like you're getting fatter because there's nothing on you left. If you're watching your diet and only increasing your calories a little bit, making small tweaks every month or so, you'll catch if you're pudging up or not at all, and you'll know to increase or decrease that. So for me, for most of the challenge, I was at anywhere from 1,600 to 1,400 calories, trying to do a little rapid weight loss, which worked, but I probably did lose a little bit of muscle weight. And that's fine because for me and being in this trade for as long as I have been, all the tricks and stuff I know to boost right back up is no problem. Losing that weight, especially over 40, that was a little harder this time. And especially doing it with more, my slow pace, time under tension, doing a lot of fasting versus back in the day, I would just crank out 7 days of workouts for a month or two and I'd get the same results, but it's not lasting. I can't physically handle that strain anymore at that pace because of my back and my age. And also I don't want to feel like crap. So what I'm doing now is I introduced back in creatine. And for those of you who listened to a couple months ago, I started doing creatine just to see how it felt, doing my more slower time under tension. And I didn't feel too much of an increase because a lot of my time under tension is more of endurance and not just raw power, trying to get as much mechanical tension as I can. But I decided to give it another try now that I'm more in the bulking phase because it will help me, increase my weights. But with progressive overload, I can still use that theory with what I'm doing time under tension, simply with my 4 or 5 seconds down, 4 or 5 seconds up, whatever exercise I'm doing, really focusing on mind-body connection and really suffering during that workout and pushing yourself. If you got a little bit left in the tank, use it all. But whatever amount of reps I'm trying to do, 4 to 6 reps, if I can handle more, now I'll push myself because I'm looking to increase my lean muscle mass and start bulking up. So going back to that creatine, I already knew I didn't feel too much difference or help in the gym with this time under tension lifting. So I increased my creatine to 10 grams instead of the recommended 5. Some of that might have been maybe I should have loaded for a couple of weeks and drop down to 5, and I might still do that. And I think everything is start off small, try things, and then if you can increase. So already knowing 5 grams was doing not too much for me, and I felt okay. Bumped it up to 10, and for the last 3 weeks, I've been feeling like an absolute monster. So yes, even creatine, not just with mechanical tension, does help with endurance as well. Energy is energy. So now all my weights have increased pretty significantly. I would say like 25%, maybe even more. And I'm still doing them safe and slow, focusing on that mind-body control. And not only that, I've been using my Whoop device. And sure enough, just like when the temperature here in San Diego went up, so did my calorie burn. There's all different stressors affect how much you're burning, your metabolism, everything. And lo and behold, just like you would think, I'm lifting more weights. All of a sudden, my workouts that were 150 calories, went up to 250 because of the heat. And now from 250 probably to 350, 400 because now I'm lifting a lot heavier, still safely, and just getting more out of my workouts. Now, I do have in my mind that 10 might be a little too much, and I'm always checking with my doctor and my blood work, and I will be taking some breaks. I'm going to Del Mar opening race day this weekend, so I cut creatine yesterday, and I have 4 days to get it out of my system, drop some water weight, and that'll be my break, and then I'll jump back on next week. But already I can see the difference, how much muscle I'm holding currently. I upped my calories, like I said, from 1,500 to 1,800, and I want to do those increments slowly. So after a month, I'll check how I feel, how does my stomach look, my body fat, and if I need to, I'll probably jump that from 1,800 to 2,000 and then continue on and do it that way. If I do one of the calculators online, it's going to tell me to take 3,000 to 3,500 calories because of my height, my weight, and my goal of bulking. But I want to slowly lean bulk. I've got all the time in the world. I ain't trying to hurt myself either. So keep that in mind. You're over 40. At this point, if you got to a goal that you like the way you look, man, you got to hold on to it because it can be taken away like that. So one last note, I mentioned in my Facebook group that I wanted to start trying this supplement called HMB. And HMB, you can Google it yourself because I don't even want to try to give you the full definition of the name. It's got a really long name. But basically, it's derived from the amino acid L-leucine. And L-leucine, everyone knows, it's a very popular branched chain amino acid. Your body cannot synthesize it, so you have to take it in. You get all your amino acids from protein. So the theory is if you're eating enough protein, you should be getting enough leucine. That leucine gets broken down, and some of the byproduct of that is this HMB. And what HMB does is it's very muscle sparing during catabolic phases. Catabolic phases for most people is working out. You're breaking down that muscle, you're tearing things down, which you recover, but that's a catabolic phase. Fasting is very catabolic, which I do a lot. So that really kind of piqued my interest in doing this, especially on fasting days or long fasting days. Over 40 or especially over 60, 70, when sarcopenia is really setting in, having something that is fighting that catabolic, just aging aspect of tearing down your muscle that you're not going to get back, that really piques my interest. And then also if you're doing high intensity, like I do high intensity training once a week. Some of you out there may do more, but for me, it's just on my rebounder, my weight vest, my weights. I got a oxygen deprivation mask I use. I go for 15 minutes hard and I'm just sprinting in place on that rebounder, sometimes adding in some push-ups. That is really catabolic. Now I can take that HMB an hour before I do that. So one, I've only been on this for a week and a half. I just want to put that out there that I'm testing this. Two is, why take HMB when you can just take branched chain amino acids, which has L-leucine in it, which should break down into the HMB and do the same thing. And that could be. So what I may do after a month or two of trying this HMB, I may switch back over to that branched chain amino acids. One, the branched chain amino acids will help you through the rigorous workout. But what I don't know is how long does it take that L-leucine to break down fully to HMB to where your body can use it when you need it. So just like branched chain amino acids, BCAA, the whole point of taking those is an hour, half hour before your workout to get that help in the gym. The whole point of taking HMB or anything that may end up turning into HMB is that it also needs to be timed before that workout, before that high intensity workout. If I'm fasting, I would assume I would need an increased amount of that to help me through a 36-hour fast. So I don't know if I can time those BCAAs to get the benefit of what I want. And then maybe by the end of the year, I might try taking both. Take a little bit of BCAAs, take a little bit of that HMB, see the synergistic effect, and then cut them all together and just worry about eating good, clean protein and seeing if my body can do everything I just mentioned just with that. And that's the fun of what I do. Biohacking, I write everything down, journal everything, see my results. I make very small changes to my diet. That way I can tell you if one supplement is working versus the other, or did any of it even matter anyways. So with that being said, I think I'll end with that. I'm real excited to try new stuff, put it out there on my podcast. This is a lifelong passion and mission of mine is to stay healthy, stay lean and mean, still have lean muscle tissue, still party when I want to as I age. And as I grow my audience, I hope you're with there trying out stuff. Please comment in my Facebook group or email me. And like I always mention, I have a link to a free 15-minute Zoom consultation I do with every member of my audience just to see if I can't point you in the right direction or if you have any questions. But other than that, just thanks for listening. And I'll just keep pumping these out.